So when you talk about the passive nature of this, again we come back to that question I wanted to go on was, so people in law, they say ignorance of law is not an excuse.
Right.
So do you think, like, just on that question alone, do you think what our legal system has translated into the billions, the 1 billion that live in India? Do you think how much of the IPC, for example, and the prohibitions that exist within it,
Right,
are translated into the general populace?
Well, the percentage wise, if you say maybe 15 to 20% of the total population might be knowing the provisions of law, punishment and other things.
I mean, like the specificity in this case, for example, the concept of consent.
right.
How much of society do you think understands the word consent?
Exactly. That is what I said. Maybe less than 15% or even 20% max. So that is one problem of it. As you said earlier, ignorance of law is no excuse. That is specifically incorporated as a necessary evil, I would say. Because if that provision is not there, no law in this country can be implemented. Everyone will come to the court, the first plea or the first defense, I was not knowing it.
Yeah.
So I thought I will be getting only 3 years imprisonment, or rather a narcotic case. I was carrying, say, 10 kg of ganja. I thought I will be punished maybe 1 year. But now you say 10 years. This is bad. You should have given me a notice about that. So this is very interesting. Like, it is in a country like India, this has to come only through education. And that is the saddest part, where our education system doesn't provide a space for understanding the legal terminologies. At least you forget about the law part. See, now recently I was many of my clients were saying that you get an order from the High Court in your favor. High Court judgment is maybe 5-6 pages, and somebody is some executive person or an IAS officer who is sitting somewhere in some position. He is to implement that order. So this judgment of the High Court is given, and he go through it, and he don't understand it. I don't know what is until further orders. I don't know what is the impugned order has been set aside. So these are all legal words. Now they don't know as to what exactly the judgment is. So they are unable to act. That is one part of its saddest part. And even if it is given in Malayalam also, I think present day education, Malayalam also is, people are not that conversant.
I mean, when taking a step back in our conversation, when you talk about the philosophy aspect of it,
Right.
and how it fails to integrate itself into our education system, now how the education system fails to integrate into that,
Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree to it, because I was just thinking,
Yeah.
when you read philosophy, you understand the idea of self, I understand the idea of a community, why a community formulates,
Right.
why something like a social contract is entered into.
Right.
But when those things aren't explained, humans don't have that intricate knowledge. They have an understanding of the world,
Right.
but they don't have a reason as to why they should understand the world.
Great.
So that is why I said, like the education part, once you say, for example, a doctor who comes out from the medical college, he has got no idea about ethics, assume so. Medical ethics, he has got no idea. Or ethics as such, he has got no idea. And he is of the feeling that everything is now gone by money. And if you have money, you can buy a car, you can buy facilities, whatever. So he goes in a way like, when patient comes, though tests are not required, you compel him to undergo so many tests and get money, get a cut out of it. So all this, an engineer goes to come out of the engineering college, he's got no idea about ethics. I think they simply collapse on the value system, and it becomes something a mess with the society.